Hello everyone, welcome to this particular video where we are going to take our application a bit further. Now, for viewers who are new to this channel and if you're not familiar with this playlist, so we are building a full-fledged application using Spring Boot as a backend and React as the front end. So we are going to build this application and we are going to get it deployed onto AWS. So it's a complete hands-on course that I'm working on, and I'm releasing it step by step in the form of this video, and all the videos are being added to the playlist. So if you're new to this channel, be sure to check out description to get the link to all the videos and the playlist, of course. And if you have been watching the playlist, I want to talk about this video as to what we are going to cover. So in this particular video, we are going to cover the most requested things. So most people, like most of my viewers, have commented and reached out to me and requested that I should talk about React and teach React in a very hands-on way, of course, which is my style. So this video is the beginning for the same. So the application that we have built so far has APIs, and those APIs are working with the database. And now it's time that we talk about the front end. So we are going to start building the front end using React. And in this video, we are going to understand what React is, why you should care about React, how React works. We are going to set up React on our system. We are going to get the necessary tools that will enable us to develop with React. So we are going to do all of this. So stick till the very end because this video is going to be really important for the upcoming videos. And I'm not rushing through. I am taking time and explaining you everything. So be sure to watch it completely so that you get a good hold of the base. So that's about the video, and I would also want to mention that if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you should definitely do that. So press that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification icon, people. I'll tell you the views that I get. I was checking analytics, and the views that I get, majority of the views are from users who are not subscribed, and a lot of viewers are returning as well. So of course you're finding my content valuable. That is why you're returning, but you haven't subscribed. I don't know why. So you should subscribe, turn on the bell notification icon. Also like, share the video, comment. And regarding comment, I want to tell you something. I wish to know who you are, from where you are joining and watching this playlist. So do comment in the comment section of this video. Let me know who you are, from where you are joining, and what are you doing currently. Are you studying? If you're studying, where you are studying, what you are studying, and if you're working, what you're working, and where you're working, what is the field you are in. So I would want to know you more, and I will reply to your comments. So that's about the introduction for this video. Be sure to subscribe, just reminding you again, because subscriptions, number of subscribers that I have impact my ability to bring in such free content for you all on this platform. Okay, the support you shows tells me that you are loving the content and I should bring more such content for you all. So without a further ado, let's jump right into the video. Hey there, welcome, and let us begin talking about React. So we'll talk about what is React, why such a thing exists. Okay, so here I'm on Google and I'm going to simply type in React. So the moment you type in React, you're going to be presented with this official website of React, which is react.dev. Now, before visiting the website, let me talk a little bit about what React is. So React is a library, as you can see over here in the description, and it is a JavaScript library. So if you are a little bit familiar of web development, or if you are a computer engineer, you will know that web essentially consists of HTML, then we have CSS, and we even have JavaScript. Now, what is HTML? HTML is nothing but the building block of the web. So if you right click on anything over here, like any element, these are all elements, right? So if you right click on any of the elements, if you say inspect, so I'm on Chrome and I have this option inspect, and let me take this down. So you are going to see all the code over here. and you can see all the HTML elements here. If I hover on any of the element, you're going to see the corresponding HTML element being highlighted. Okay, this is a div. So HTML essentially consists of tags, like you can see over here, div tag. Then we have h2 tag. These are all inbuilt HTML tags that browsers understand. So these are modern browsers that understand these things. Okay. So this is HTML. What is HTML used for? It is used to define the elements. Now what happens is defining the elements is not enough. Okay. You need to beautify them. For example, like here you see this React is being highlighted in bold, right? Why is it being highlighted in bold? Because I've searched for React. Okay. There is a particular styling for this, right? You can see this is being highlighted like in light gray, which is a little bit different from this thing over here. This is a link, right? So this is being highlighted differently. So if I right click over here and if I inspect, you'll see this is h3, okay, and a tag. Here you can see a tag. So in HTML, you create links using the a tag. Now if you like expand this a bit, here is where you will see all the CSS. You can see. So a tag, this is the a tag, and here you can see the CSS, the color is defined as blue. Now if I change the color to, let's say, pink, red, you'll see the color is being changed in the browser. You can see this is completely real time. If I want to change this to, let's say, yellow, which color do you want? Okay. So you can change the color. So this is how beautification is being added to web pages. Okay. So you can see like beautification is being controlled by CSS. What this code is, you can see over here, this code is CSS. So you're saying for a tag. Now what is a tag? A tag is over here, which is, so if I hover on a tag, you'll see the corresponding tag being highlighted or the corresponding element being highlighted on the left. Okay. When you hover on the tag. So it's the React, this React text. Okay. That is what it is. And here you have CSS for the same. So a tag, it says all the a tags. So if I hover on a tag, you'll see all the a tags being highlighted on the left hand side, right? So that is where all the a tags are being used, which means that is where all the links are being rendered, because these are all links, right? So I want all the a tags to be in this color. I don't want any sort of text decoration. That is what you're defining over here. Okay. Cursor is being changed to pointer. So if I hover on this, you can see the cursor is being changed, right? It's being changed to a pointer. I can disable that. Okay. Okay. It's not allowing me to override that, but that's fine. So the point is to understand what CSS is. You can see that live over here, right? So I'll try to bring it to the default color. It was something like this. Okay. Yellow and green is not looking that natural, but you understand, like, this is CSS, right? Then you have something called as JavaScript. Now what is JavaScript? JavaScript brings in life to the web pages. So any sort of validation you want to do in the web pages, any kind of pop-up you want to show, you can do all of that. Okay. So if you want to see JavaScript in action, we can go to console tab over here at the top. Okay. And this is the browser console. So here I can say alert. Okay. And I can simply say hi here. Something like this. Okay. You can see hi. This is the alert. So any sort of validations, pop-ups, or any sort of dynamic things you want to do, you can make use of JavaScript. Okay. So JavaScript adds life to your web pages. Okay. Now what is React? React is a JavaScript library. Okay. Let us head over to the website of React and let us understand why this thing exists. Okay. Now let us understand how web used to work before React. Okay. So what used to happen is, this is a web page, right? And you have different interactive elements over here. So I can click on the nav bar and I can go to another page. Now, when you load a web page, HTML is loaded, CSS is loaded, JavaScript is loaded. Now, when you switch over to another tab over here, again, the entire thing is reloaded. So HTML is reloaded, CSS is reloaded, and JavaScript is reloaded. If I go over here, again, everything is reloaded. Click on community, again, everything is reloaded. So this is not efficient, like every time, even though CSS and JavaScript does not change and it's constant throughout the site, we are reloading it. Okay. And this is not good, right? This is not the efficient way. And we humans love to be efficient, right? And that is why React exists. So I'll tell you how React is different. So React is used to make single page web applications. Now, what does it mean? So what happens is you have this web application. This is a web application, right? This is a web page. It's a web application. It is going to have a frame outside. This is a frame. And inside, for example, it is going to have components. So for example, search is a component. These tabs is a nav bar component. Okay, you can create a nav bar and you can add like 4 buttons over there. Okay, this button is also a component. This is also a component. Then the center part is also a component. So this entire page has a frame, and within this frame you have components inside placed. Okay, now what happens is if you want to switch over to learn over here, you can see the top thing does not change across the website, right? So why do you want to reload this? You don't want to reload this. You can just reload this bottom part, right? So with the help of this component based architecture, this became possible. So instead of reloading this entire web page, even though navbar is constant, you are reloading that entire thing, right? It is not efficient, right? It is consuming your data. It is consuming network activity. It is also consuming processing power. It is not efficient. So that is why this component based thing came into picture, where only the component where there was a change used to be reloaded. So if you go to reference, only this part will be reloaded. If I switch to this, only this part will be reloaded. So that is what is a single page application. So it is actually single page application, like one page, and the components are being reloaded. Okay, and they are being reloaded depending on where you are interacting and how the application is built. Okay, so that is what single page web applications are, and React is used to make these kind of single page web applications. Okay, so what React allows you to do is, here you can see it allows you to create components. Okay, now like I said here, this thing is a component, this thing is a component. All these things can be components that you have defined, and then you can have a frame, and within this frame you can load all the components. That is what React allows you to do. Okay, and why does it allow you to do? So I just explained, because if you like go to reference, I'm just reloading this bottom part. I'm not reloading this nav bar. I'm not reloading this message at the top, right? Only this bottom part is being reloaded. If I click over here, only the things on the right side is being reloaded. You don't need to reload the entire web page every time, right? So that is what React allows you to do. It allows you to create components. You can create components. Okay, so for example, you can create search bar using React. You can create nav bar using React, and then you can define a frame, and within that frame you can assemble all the components in whichever way you like. Okay, so that is what this thing talks about. Okay, so it lets you build user interfaces out of individual pieces called components, and it also has an amazing demo here on the website. Okay, so this website might change, the interface might change depending on when you're watching this video, but right now I'm seeing this kind of an interface on the website. Okay, if you come over here, they have this amazing example. So don't worry if you don't understand this code. Okay, what this thing is trying to highlight over here is there are components in here. You can see this is an interface. Okay, our interface that you want to show. This is a video thumbnail. Then you have the video title, description, like button, and so on. Okay, now here what you have done is you have created a component called thumbnail. So you can see over here, thumbnail, right? Then you have created a component called like button. Here, like button. You have a component called video. Okay, you can see. So this is the entire component video, you can see, right? So this is reusable, as you can imagine. Okay, so like button, if I want to use at some other place, I need to just make use of this tag. Okay, thumbnail, I need to use at another place, I can just make use of this tag. Okay, and tomorrow, if there is any change in the thumbnail, I just need to make that change at one place, and it's reflected across the app. Tomorrow, if I want to change how the animation of this like button works, or any sort of UI change over here, I want to change the color of like button. You just make change wherever you have defined this like button. So wherever you have defined this like button, you make that small change and you save it. It's deployed across the app. That's the magic. So reusability, as you can imagine, is one of the major things that is coming across. You can see over here. Okay. You can see whether you work on your own or thousands of other developers, using React feels the same. Okay. It allows you to seamlessly combine components written by independent people. Okay. And here you can see, this is amazing. You can see here. So using a little bit of JavaScript, it has rendered. So you created a video over here. Okay. This was a video that you created, and using JavaScript, you are rendering video 3 times. You can see 3 videos. Okay. And this syntax, this is a markup syntax that is known as JSX. So JSX is something that you will hear often when you're working with React. Okay. So this is about React and how it works. Okay. So I would encourage you all to just go through this website. Also, to give you one more example, a little bit interactive one, we can go to learn over here. And if I scroll down here, you can see this. Okay. So here what we have done is essentially we have created a function. So this is a function that is returning button. And let's say this can be any button. So right now it's a very simple button and it says I'm a button. Okay. But let's say if you need a sort of button that is specific in UI and message to your application, you can define it like this. And here what you have done is, here I'm like rendering this button over here. You can see my button. So I'll tell you what happens is when you're developing with HTML, you have like inbuilt tags. You have this h1 tag, you have h2 tag, you have h3 tag, and every tag has a meaning, right? H1 tag has a meaning. Like if you write anything using h1 tag, it is going to be shown in this way in header. If I replace this, and this is like a proper editor, so I'm allowed to change the code over here. So if I change this to h2 like so, you can see this will like show things in a different way. Okay. The font size is little bit smaller. Okay. So every tag that is inbuilt in HTML has its own meaning. So here you can see this is our own custom tag. So React allows you to create your own custom tag. Here we have defined our own custom tag, my button. This is the function, my button, that we have defined. What is the definition of my button? This is the definition. So whenever you are calling my button, we are calling my button, we are using my button over here. Whenever you are using my button over here, this is returned and this is replaced over here in a way. Okay, so this entire thing is being replaced over here like this when this is rendered into the browser. Okay, so I'll just do Control-Z. I can even prove it to you. So if I right click over here and say inspect, let us see over here what's happening. Okay, so I'll just take this down a bit. We'll scroll towards right. You can see here you are not seeing my button. So here actually we are writing my button in the code. But here you are not seeing my button. Here you are seeing this code being rendered. You can see. So what is happening is wherever you are using my button during runtime, this is going to get rendered. The definition of my button is going to get rendered. So let me replicate this. So I'll replicate this and you can see one more button was added. Okay. Now if I change the definition, I am let me say I'm awesome button. You can see it's reflected everywhere. Can you imagine this magic? Like, so you change at one thing, you change at one place. You change at one place and it is reflected across the application. So if you have any sorts of custom buttons, custom likes, imagine building Instagram. You're using like button at several places, right? And you have that theme to maintain. So you create a component, okay? You use it at several places, 1,000 places you use. You need to make a change to the component. No problem. You come and make a change over here and it is reflected across the application. Okay. So this is what, and you can make use of this component n number of times. So I can like just keep on rendering this and you can see the definition being substituted over here. So this is the benefit of React. So like we understood this, React promotes the usage of single page applications. Okay. You can make single page web applications. You can essentially create your own components. You can reuse those components. So it promotes reusability. You can, it allows you to maintain your code easily as well. So if you want to make a change, you make change at one place, it's reflected across. So it keeps things tidy. Okay. Also React is very popular these days. So if you search for React salary in your location, wherever you are from, you can see, so this is payscale.com for United States, and you can see this is the salary right now that is getting paid to React developers. Even full stack developer are being paid well. So there are a lot of jobs that demand this skill set, and it's important that you learn this as a software engineer. So whether you are a backend engineer, whoever you are, these days React is also being used to create mobile applications. Okay, so yeah, it's really important that you understand this stuff and start building stuff using this technology. So this is React. Now, how do we write code in React? So to write code in React, you need Node.js. Now, what is Node.js? So Node.js is nothing but a JavaScript runtime, and it lets you execute JavaScript code on the server side. Okay, so that's something that we'll need Node.js. We'll also need something called as NPM. Now, what is NPM? So NPM is nothing but a package manager for JavaScript. Okay, it is used to manage the different packages that you use with JavaScript. It is used to install libraries, tools, frameworks. So if you want to make use of React, you need to make use of this package manager. Okay. Also, we will need something called as Visual Studio Code. So this is going to be the IDE. Okay. And we are going to make use of this, and it has a wonderful support for web development as well. So we are going to make use of Visual Studio Code for this. So coming to our browser, what we are going to do is we are going to head over to Google and we are going to search for Node.js. Okay, this is something that we are going to need. I'm going to click on this and you can see over here, this is where we will need to install the Node.js. So you can download the Node.js LTS version. Okay, you can download it from here. And you can even go to download page, and if you need anything custom like for Windows, Mac, you can get the selection from here. Okay, installation process is very straightforward. You download this like any normal software program and you just follow the setup and installation instructions. Okay, once you have downloaded, what you can do is you can come over to your terminal and you can verify whether the installation was successful. So you can say node-v. You should see this version being printed. So your version number might be a little different from that of mine, because this might depend on when you're watching this video and whether there is a newer version available. But don't worry about different version number. A number should get printed. That is what you should worry about. Then you type in npm. So we need this node package manager as well. Okay, and you can say -v. So this should also print a version number. It's okay if it's different than that of mine. Okay, but we need these two things to be installed on your system. So one is Node.js, which is the JavaScript runtime. Okay, and then we have npm, which is a package manager. So just be sure that you have both of this. So now once this is validated, I would request you all to navigate to the directory where you wish to create your React project. So let's say you can make use of cd command, head over to the directory. Okay, and I'll just switch over to C drive. Okay, and now in this particular directory, I wish to create a React project. Okay, now how am I going to do so? So I need to just say npx. Okay, now what is npx? Npx is a package runner tool that comes along with npm. So remember we checked for npm version, which is node package manager. Okay, so we are going to make use of npx, which is a package runner tool that comes in with npm, and it allows you to run command, okay, locally on your machine. So we are going to say npx, and I'm going to say create React app. Okay, now what is create React app? Okay, so this is a tool, you can say, that allows you to create React based applications. So React based applications have structures, some file that you need, right? So this allows you to create that structure, the project, automatically with ease. Okay, so that's the benefit of doing this. After create React app, you can specify the project name. So I'm going to say challenge app frontend, something like this. You can specify the name of your choice, just press enter. Okay, so it is telling us that it cannot create, it cannot contain capital letters. I'm sorry about that. So I need to say challenge front end, something like this. And I can say live version. Okay, so I'll just press enter and this should ideally work. So you can see what it is doing is it is creating, so it has automatically created a folder first of all for me, okay, with the name that I've specified. And within the folder, it is processing. Okay, it is creating the React project. And this might take a little bit of time depending on the kind of computer you're using, the network speed and all. It is going to download a few packages for you. So we'll wait for a while and we'll wait for this entire thing to process. All right. So I'm done with this command and you'll see it did a very nice job of creating the project. So you can see here, this is the directory it created because this is the directory that I specified. Okay. And it said inside that directory, you can run several commands. npm start. So what is it going to do? This is going to start a development server. Well, that's a good news. We have an inbuilt development server for us to work with. Okay. npm run build, this is going to bundle the app into static files for production. So this is for prod purposes. npm test, this is going to test. npm eject, we have some tools. Sorry, not tools, we have some commands. And then if you scroll down, this is the command that it's suggesting us to begin with. It's saying you can start by typing in cd, you switch over to this folder, and then you say npm start. So what I will do is I'll just copy this. I'll paste this, we'll switch over to this, and it said npm start, something like this. So this is going to start our server simply. Okay, and you can see it's on localhost 3000, and this is our first React based application which we created. Okay, or I should say we did not create. Okay, so this is automatically generated project using create React app. Okay, and it's also giving us some hint over here. You can edit app.js and save to reload. Okay, it has a link to learn React, which will take you to the official website of React. All right, so far so good. So this is our application up and running. Now what do we need to do? We need to start coding and modifying things. And what are we going to do for that? We are going to install an IDE, which is the IDE, Visual Studio Code. Okay, so this is what it looks like. If you already have it on the computer, well and good. If you don't, then head over to this official website. It is a free tool. Okay, it's free, built on open source, runs everywhere. So since I'm on Windows, it's prompting me to download a stable build for Windows. You can switch to whichever operating system you need to. But if your operating system has an installer over here, it is going to automatically. So if you're logging in from Mac over here, it is going to show you download from Mac. Okay, so whichever platform you're opening this from, it is going to show you that button, and you can go through this if you're not aware of what Visual Studio Code is. But just download and just install it like any other software program. Okay, I have it already installed, so I won't be showing you the installation steps, but installation steps are not at all complex. It's very simple and straightforward. So after you are done with the installation, you will be shown this kind of a welcome screen. I'm seeing some recent projects here because I've been using Visual Studio Code for a while now. But you need to come over to this kind of an interface. You need to go to File, Open Folder. Now, if you click on Open Folder, you need to navigate to the location where you have created the React app. So click on Open Folder, navigate to the place where you created the React app and get your React app open in this IDE. So I have opened this particular folder of mine. Okay. And now over here you are seeing, let me zoom in a bit. Okay, you're seeing this project structure that was automatically created with the help of create React app. Okay, so let us go through this project structure. Okay, so here this is the folder or the project name that I had specified when mentioning the project name or when running the command. Then you have node modules. Okay. So what are node modules? So this directory contains all the npm packages, which means libraries, dependencies that your project relies on. Okay. So generally you won't need to interact with this folder directly. Okay. So you won't be touching this folder at all. Then you have public folder. Now public folder has all the static files like main index.html. You can see like the name itself public. So all the static files, favicon, all of that will come over here. Okay. Then you have like index.html over here. Okay. This will contain the root div element which your application will interact. Okay. If you close this, you have let me close this. Okay. Then you have over here some JSON files. Okay. Or let us talk about SRC. So SRC is a very important folder for you as a developer, because this is where you will be writing all your code, and this is where all the magic will happen. Okay. So this will have all your JavaScript files, all your React components, style sheets, images, any other assets that you are working on. Everything will reside over here. Okay. Now within SRC, if you take a look at app.js. Okay. So if you come over to the browser, you can see edit src/app.js. So this page is being rendered from here. Okay. So if you see over here, edit src app.js. So that message is coming in from here. Okay. And then at the bottom, you had a link which said that if you need to learn React, you need to go to this link. So that is where this is coming from. Okay. This is where it's coming from. Okay. So this is app.js. Then you have index.js. What is index.js? Okay. This is the starting point of the React app. And this is where this app component is being rendered. Okay. So you understand this. App.js is a component that is being added in index.js. You can see this is being added over here. Okay. So all your source code will reside. Don't worry if you are not understanding anything right now about what component is going where. But what I mean to say essentially over here is all your source code will reside over here. Okay. And whatever changes you need to make, you can make over here. Okay. So SRC is the folder where you will be working a lot, because you as a dev, you will be building stuff, and SRC will be your home. So right now, what I would encourage you all to do is here in the app.js, since you're seeing this message coming in, you can modify this message and play around with the HTML a bit. And so instead of edit, if I say edit one, and if I save this file, if you come over here, you can see edit one being reflected. We have not done any sort of refresh, reload, anything, right? How is this being reflected? I just changed here and I just saved it, and we have a server running. How and where the server come from? So remember, we like started the server by saying npm start over here. So this was the command that we executed, npm start, and this triggered the development server. You can see, you can read these output over here. Okay, this thing over here that you see, compiled successfully, and it also gave you a URL. So if you are accessing on local, this is the one. If you're accessing on network, this is the one. Okay. So you have a server which is up and running. It is hosting your application, and whatever changes you're making over here, you just need to save the file. So I edited this file. You see this dot over here at the top, which it means that it's not saved. So if without saving, if you check, it won't reflect. Okay. If you save this, Control S, come here, it is reflecting, auto reload. So I would encourage you all to make change and observe what's happening. It's good to get familiar with the playground.